Well, hello there. You are listening to Nellyville, the podcast.
Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Happy Halloween. Hello. Welcome back to another fabulous episode of Nellyville, the podcastly place to be. I'm your host, Chanel number 5, and I'm so happy to be here. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, probably second favorite behind Christmas. I love it. It's just a great festive holiday. It's a great way to kick off the holiday season, get your candy out. I hope you already have your costumes. If you don't, by the time you listen to this, sweetie, you missed out, and you're probably listening to this after Halloween, however you say it. You know what I'm saying? I say Halloween most of the time because 106 Apart, Halloween. There's a memory there of some kind of MTV, BET, 106 and Park, Hollaback, Halloween. There's something there. If someone could connect the dots on that for me, on that memory, that would be great. Greatly appreciated. Anyways, I hope you guys have some plans or you had fun. Let me know what you did. Were you safe? Was it fun? Did you do the trick-or-treating? What did you wear? Or did you just have kind of like a chill night? Get you a latte, a little pumpkin spice ice cream. Ooh, a little hot chocolate, huh? Did we go on hay rides? Did we do any of the fall festivals? A little haunted house, a little something? I don't know. I know me. For me, I know I've been trying to catch up on my usual Halloween movies. You know, I love a Halloween special. Can we stop and pause for a second and just say thanks to all of the great Halloween shows that came out throughout like the 90s, early 2000s, maybe the 80s, but somewhere it's mostly the 90s though. Can we focus on this? Do you guys remember when TV was so good, you would have these shows in all of America, all over the world. We would sit down at the same time to tune in and watch these shows, and these shows would have the special episodes. You know, when it was a holiday, they would have the Halloween episode. They would have the Christmas episode, the Thanksgiving episode. And man, those Halloween specials, they were just great. This was a time when Disney was really doing it right with the crossover episodes. And one of the ones that really stands out is that Sweet Life on Deck. Y'all remember, or not Sweet Life on Deck, that was a spinoff. The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Oh, great show. But the Halloween episode, that was actually pretty scary. Okay, the Hannah Montana episode, I think, was that one of the crossover ones? Maybe that might have been a crossover. Family Matters had a great Halloween episode. Saved by the Bell, Full House. I mean, just great classic television there. And I know this week I've been watching Halloween Town and binge watching the 4-part movie. So you have Halloween Town 2, Halloween Town High, The Return of Halloween Town, and then I think there's like another one, which, lots of controversy with Halloween Town, because that, anybody that true Disney kids know that is a classic, okay? And for the first 2-3 movies, they had the original cast, the original actresses and stuff. Once they got to that Return of Halloween Town, they replaced the main character. And I always wonder why. What happened? Well, I did a little digging. Apparently, supposedly, allegedly, I don't know. I didn't dig that deep. But off of first glance, what I found was they couldn't come up to an agreement on pay. And, what else is new? They have actresses. The movies and things are a success. So therefore, you need to be paying the stars more. They're the ones bringing the audience in. That's what's bringing the numbers in. Well, people don't want to pay people money, and they replace the girl. And, I haven't got to that one yet. I'm going to watch that one today. But from what I remember, the replacement, I mean, it was okay. But of course, it's hard when you replace that main character. It's hard when you replace like a side character. You know what I'm saying? But, or you could just pull a Family Matters and just take someone off the show and pretend like they never existed, which is really weird. But that's another story for another day. Pay these people their money. But also, I don't know how much she was asking for. You know what I mean? Sometimes, look, let's talk business for a second. Know your worth. Ask for what you're worth. Ask what you feel like you need to get paid. And don't settle for anything other than that. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a gamble. Anytime you walk away from a gig, a role, an opportunity, hey, you could have all the information in the world. At the end of the day, you do not know how that's going to turn out. You have to ask yourself, am I okay walking away because I'm not getting the money I deserve or whatever extra perk you're asking for? Are you okay that down the line, that opportunity, that role, that movie may really, really take off and really, really blow up without you? And then also on the other hand, if you say, okay, I'm willing to take a little bit of a pay cut because I really believe in this project, you got to be okay with, word getting around town and say, hey, they'll work for cheap. And then it's a constant battle of you trying to get more money when people know you will settle for less. So I don't know, it's a balance. But anyways, everyone looks good. I think that the original girl who was switched out and along with some other people, I think they're going to do some Halloween Town, revival stuff. They might have done that this year. I know they've been very active on social media and stuff lately. Great to see her. Great to see the people looking good. Now the little girl from Halloween Town, she was really in the first two. She had like a brief appearance in the third one, and she wasn't in the fourth one at all. So, and I was like, Dad, why did they take that little girl out? She was so cute, but she retired from acting after the second one, I think, and they convinced her to do like a little brief cameo in the third or whatever have you. But some people like to do it as kids and they grow out of it and they move on. And that little girl, she's out here just living an everyday mediocre, pumpkin spice latte life, and that's okay. Not everybody wants to be out here dipping and doing it. I understand. It's very hard. It's very taxing. It's got to be something that you really, really want. So, more power to them. Of course, I got to watch my Hocus Pocus. Twitches is great, which speaking of Twitches, y'all see Tia and Tamara. Y'all see they back out here. Oh, buddy, which I'm glad they worked it out. But the thing that kind of tickled me was, y'all remember was about a year or two ago, they were doing the interviews and stuff, specifically, mainly Tia, and people are like, man, what's going on? Are y'all cool? Why'd y'all fall out? People had speculation that it was because Tamara might be kind of Trumpy. They are mixed. And sometimes with mixed people, one side take over more than the other. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with somebody having a little husband. Like, I don't know how Adam identified. I don't know if Adam is concerned. Adam being Tamara's husband. I think that's his name. And Adam. Anyways, I don't know that they're Trump supporters, but they kind of give Trumpy. And we don't know. People were speculating that might be why her and Tia fell out. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. But anyways, Tia especially was really like, we're just siblings and nothing's going on and everything is cool. Like, I don't know why you guys are reading so much into it. Only to bim bop boom. Fast forward to now, they got their little home goods commercials and stuff, and they doing their little social medias and stuff together, and they talking about some, we're back, did you miss us? Like, and and there's all these headlines, and they're doing the storylines and the news articles and the interviews and the things talking about, we rekindled. Rekindle what? Because let you tell it. Unless, did I miss a chapter where they came clean and said that they weren't talking to each other? Because let y'all tell, a couple years ago, y'all was talking about ain't nothing going on. Now all of a sudden we back from nothing. Ciao. Anyway, so we was right. Okay, but anyways, I'm glad to see them together. Love them so much. They another one had another really great. Twitches is great. It still holds up. Highly recommend. But sisters, 90s staple. 90s staple. Now they got their little reality show and stuff, baby. I can't be bothered. Nothing against them. I just don't like reality TV. Hello. With all that's being said, let's move right along. Can we talk about can I just say one more thing about Halloween? Can I say one more thing? And then we'll move on. Couple things. Can we talk about what the best treat is for Halloween? Can we talk about it? You should already know. The little Pillsbury Halloween cookies. I don't care. Y'all can call me basic. Y'all can call me cheesy, corny. Those are it. They really, really are. And let me tell you something. Those were a staple in my household. Okay, this was, didn't even have to ask for them, but I rest assured that my mother was going to come home with some of those pre-cut Halloween sugar cookies. They were a staple, and I just feel like if you are a parent and you are not baking those for your children, what are you doing? I question you as a parent. Dare I say, I might have to call you a bad mother. I don't care if your kids are vegan. I don't care if they're vegetarian. I don't care if I guess if they're vegetarian, they probably could still eat them. I don't care if you're gluten-free, you don't want sugar. Man, shut up. Miss me with all that. Don't nobody want no damn dry ass. No. Give just one. Just give them one. Look. Bake all of them. Let them have one. Give them away at the church. Somebody gonna eat them. You know what I'm saying? Staple. Love that. I'm not really a candy person. I love the art of trick-or-treating. I love to dress up. I trick-or-treat till I was 18 years old. Yes, I did. Absolutely. Which it's not as weird as it sounds. I looked all of 10 years old when I was 18. So who really was I hurt? You know what I'm saying? But no, it's just so fun. It's just, and actually here in Houston, we've had a couple of days. It's been still hot. We still been in the 90s and stuff. But for the last few days, we have had some fall, not only mornings, but some fall days. But but still, it still feels good enough that we don't need jackets and or sweaters and stuff. But you could throw on a little sweatshirt, maybe a little cardigan or something. Y'all know I love a cardigan. I love a cardigan. Honey. Ooh. But anyways, all the way. Anyways. Can we unlock a memory? Oh, kids really missed out today. Let me know if your kids are still doing it. But I know they're not doing it how we did it, because it was borderline. It was really borderline. The Halloween parties at school? Huh? The Halloween parties at school where we would watch the Halloween movies that we got to pick out. We had the pizza. We had the Cheetos, Doritos, all these snacks, popcorns, cookies, cake, candy. I mean, oh boy, a smorgasbord. I don't even think you're allowed to get within 50 feet of a school with those kind of snacks. But boy, oh boy, what a treat it was. I mean, all kinds of fruit roll-ups. Huh? Cheese puffs. Pop-Tarts. I mean, just the definition of just a junk food vending machine of snacks that all the parents would just chip in, and it was just magnificent. The field trips, going to do they still take the kids to the Uber's farm? Two people who have children in Kentucky and the Louisville area. Do they still take the kids to the Uber's farm and let them pick out a pumpkin? I mean, oh gosh. What memories. Oh, but the Halloween parties, just great. The games, hanging out with your friends. I mean, gosh, you can't do that no more. Look, I love Michelle Obama. I do. But look, I understand that Michelle like, I understand that she was trying to instill better health conscious lifestyle and eating choices for young children and families and this and that. But can I just say, how can I, hold on, I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to, how can I, hold on. I see the value, and I saw the value at the time of trying to get people to be more health conscious. And it wasn't just Michelle, obviously, she had backing. But everyone who backed her and had this rhetoric and made it so that those parties could not exist in that way. If you had parties, you had to bring very specific snacks. You know, you can't do that anymore. It has to be fruits and vegetables, which that can be good too. Okay. And when they advocated to have the vending machine, oh God, there was a time. It's just so sad. It's so sad what they did to those vending machines. Don't nobody want no dry ass, crunchy ass, crumbly ass bird food in their vending machine. Nobody wants a Nature Valley bar in a vending machine. What am I gonna do with that besides choke on it? No, take the vending machine out. If all I can, man, I don't want no damn Sun Chips. Now I like Sun Chips now, but at first, like, the culture shock that it was, and I'm glad that they came at the tail end of my schooling, because if I imagine being in elementary school at the time where they decided, well, that's it for these icing filled, cookie filled, Willy Wonka theme ass parties, children. Your parents can only bring strawberries and carrots, baby. I would have flipped a desk. I mean, talk about a disappointment. Talk about a disappointment. I mean, I know we got to change and things got to evolve. I mean, right before I started high school, those kids, at least the seniors, they were allowed to, leave the campus for lunch and, go to the restaurants or whatever and blah, blah, blah. They were allowed to leave. They were allowed to take their cars. They were allowed to walk. They were allowed to do the things. If they had a free period, they were allowed to leave. Now, why when I get in high school now, we can't do that no more? God damn it. It's always one monkey. Just I veered too far. Anyways, Michelle Obama, love you so much, girl. Love you so much. But ew, boring, yuck. Anyways, all that to be said, feed your kids junk food at least once a year. They'll thank you for it later. Great memories. Anyways, can we shift off of Halloween? I think we've beat that dead horse with a stick. Now, I want to talk about something that I've seen. So there's this story. Okay, we're taking a hard pivot. Hard left. Buckle up, people. Y'all know how we roll over here. Let's talk about dating for a second. So there was this guy, or the girl rather, is telling the story. And the girl says that she got the ick, which y'all know what the ick is. The ick is something that someone does. Usually girls use it in reference to guys, but men can have icks towards women too, but it's something that someone does that is just, it's kind of like it's really a non-issue, but for whatever reason, it's something that just really makes you like ill. Like, I can't even look past that, it's just, it's something that you wouldn't think about, but it's just one little thing that they do that it's just like, I can't explain it, but that just really makes me not like you. So here's one of the icks that this girl talks about. So she says she goes on this date with this guy, and it's kind of raining, it's rainy weather. So he was like, well, sometimes you have to park kind of far from the restaurant. So do you want to go somewhere else that maybe has some covered parking or valet parking, or do you kind of want to change the plan so you don't get wet? And she was like, no, it's okay. So then he was like, well, what I'll do is I'll drop you off at the door, I'll park, and I'll come back and meet you up front. And she was like, no, it's okay. I don't mind walking from the car. It's really, it's okay. We can run if we have to or what. It's it's fine, no big deal. So he stops at like a store, a gas station or something, and gets an umbrella. And then they go to the thing, and he gets out of the car, he walks her with the umbrella to the door. This girl says, I can't make this up, y'all. She says, I thought that was so unattractive. Like, why would you get me an umbrella? Like, this is so weird. That's so lame. Like, damn, like, why? I would have found it more romantic if you would have parked and, like, just run to the door. Like, what? I was like, okay, are we that cooked? Are we that cooked as a society that now, women, these girls, these women, and she wasn't that young. She might be been a little bit younger than me, but are we that far gone that now being, I can't even call that chivalrous. That's just having common courtesy. Being polite is giving people the ick. Are we that used to bare minimum bar in hell standards that someone taking their time out to stop and get an umbrella and pull over, get an umbrella and walk and be like, and she was like, and I never talked to him again. You know what? I'm glad that man dodged a bullet, because you sound like you would have ruined his life. I mean, am I crazy? Am I tripping? Am I on Lonely Island? Am I on Staten Island, or am I in my head? Where am I? Because now look, I understand the thing of an ick. Like sometimes there are just little things that people can do that make me like, this just isn't gonna work. It could be the way that they hold their fork or something. It could be the way maybe they clean their ears out with their keys. Maybe they make a clicking sound. Maybe they sneeze weird. Look, these are all non-issues. But, sometimes that's enough. Is something about it if you're like, I don't want to look at that for the next 50 years. And that's okay. Sometimes it's just not a reason. Sometimes you're just not feeling it. And that is perfectly okay. But when it's something like someone didn't want you to get wet in the rain, who raised you, horse? Like, what is, baby? But that's where we are. Let me know what you think about that. I'm baffled. Okay. And here's another thing when it comes to dating that I'm baffled on. So here's this other girl. This is a different girl, totally different story. Who, and after reading the comments on this, apparently a lot of people have experienced this at one point in time or another. So there's this girl, and make long story short, she talks about how this guy came over one day, I guess someone she was dating or something, and he went to work, maybe a few days later. He stayed like one day or stayed overnight or something, right? And so maybe a couple days passed by or something. So he went to work, or maybe he left from work the next day. I don't know. Anyways, he had got off work, and he called her, and it was like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm on my way to the house. The house? Like, in other words, like Like I'm like he was on his way to her house, and he was saying it like they've been together and living together for 7.5 years. Oh, I'm on my way to the house. Excuse me, what? Huh? Whose house? And then unleash the comments, because boy, oh boy, these women in these comments, which I've heard people talk about this before, and you know, every time around this year, around this every year around this time, you always have people make the joke of, ladies, stay safe out there. It's getting cold out there. These niggas are looking for homes and stuff, you know, but they trying to seek shelter because it's get cold outside. You know, it's a joke, but it's so real. Do not let these, and men too, do not let somebody trick you and con you into staying with you. I read one comment. This girl said this guy came over and they was hanging out, and she said she went to take a nap, just, you know, maybe an hour or two. She said she woke up, came in the living room, he was sitting there, had bags and a PlayStation hooked up, talking about, well, we cool, so I think I'm just gonna stay here for a while. What? Hold on. How long was I asleep that you packed bags and have come? Where did these bags come from? How did you? Hold on, y'all, because it's. I think I sent. Let me see if I can find it. I think I sent the video to myself, but hold on. Let me see. But I mean, you have these people who, man, just. But you know why they do it? Because it is some women out here who are stupid enough to actually go along with it. Just lonely. Just want any old body. And just be like, okay, yeah, I guess you can stay a couple days. Baby, a couple days can turn into a couple years and a damn headache. Then ruin your life. So hold on. Let me go to let me see. Look, so I'm reading some of the comments from that video. So this one says, how'd your house is? It's getting cold outside. Hold on, let me see. Somebody said Texas Roadhouse. Hold on. Damn, my computer froze. Hold on. I not froze, but went to sleep. Y'all know the computer be going to sleep. I really need to turn that off. I always say I'm going to turn it off and I don't. Hold on. Let's see. Somebody said, girl, I had one over yesterday. He on the phone with his homeboy talking about, yeah, bro, I'm in the crib. The crib? Oh, yeah, by the way, that girl who said she wanted the guy had back, yeah, she told him to leave immediately. So she said. But anyways, somebody said, oh, that Wi-Fi must have been jumping. The girl said, I just upgraded it too. All right, hold on, let me see. This man was outside my apartment complex with a duffel bag when I got home from work, talking about what took me so long to get home. Home? Oh my gosh. The boldness. Hold on, let me see. Where is the man? Some of these, I mean, and it's so many. Y'all, it is over 18,000 comments. And most of these are girls telling stories about men that have tried to do this. That's crazy. And I see it all the time. Somebody said he was on the phone with his mama talking about, oh yeah, I can see myself living here. It's nice, mama. Excuse me? Get the fuck, get out. Can somebody just put a picture of somebody dialing 911? Mm-mm. I don't even have my house on me right now. It's in the shop. I mean, it goes on and on. I mean, the audacity. But why is it that, and I'm sure you get some women that bum around too. They call them hobosexuals. And I'm sure it's some women out here that do that. But why does it disproportionately seem like men just like try to go and stay with women? Like what? Like Like, what is that about? Is it, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I guess it goes back to the thing of women are just a little more responsible, a little more mature. I, but see, this is why you need to be raising your sons to know how to take care of a household. Don't raise them so that that the mother or the sisters and stuff are always doing everything for them because they don't know how to do nothing. A lot of these men don't know how to do nothing. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to clean. They don't know how to do. They don't know how to do nothing. They don't know how to pay a bill because their mothers did everything for them. Their sisters did everything for them. Like I don't know, but it's very funny. But for real though, be careful. Be careful. This girl said no for real. Woke up the next morning and sat in my living room talking about he was calling off. Like, nah, you going home. Mm-mm-mm. Girl, I had one offer to help me move and brought his own luggage. Let mine spend the night once. He came back and cooked dinner the next day. Now all his clothes are at my house. Now I can't even pass gas in peace. My belly hurts every day. Girl, tell that nigga get out. Excuse me, huh? Anyways, look, and I don't think I've ever met any woman who's never gone through that before. I mean, I just that audacity, and they just be so slick with like you just was there. Okay, no. If somebody say, "Oh, can I come stay with a couple?" No, it's never a couple days, bitch. Don't be dumb. No, they can't come over. No, don't even let them at your house. I know it happened to me before years ago. This guy. Oh, it was another girl who said I think this was a different video, but she said it was a guy that she met like it would have been like years past, but she went on like one or two dates with him. Then it nothing came of it, and then like years later, he asked if he could come stay for a couple days or something rather. And I was like, damn, memory unlocked because I forgot all about this. But yeah, long years ago, if somebody I went on a date with maybe like once or twice, nothing came of it, didn't talk to him for years. All of a sudden, he came out of woodwork talking about, yeah, man, I'm moving back to Houston, whatever, I was like, okay, yeah, man, we do some dinner, get a little coffee or something. And then talking on phone and this and that, he was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna be back tomorrow, well, my family's out of town though, so I was thinking maybe, I could stay with you till they get back in town because I ain't got no kid. I immediately was like, damn, man, that's messed up. Huh? What do you, nigga, I don't know. No, you can't. First of all, that don't even sound right because if you coming back to live somewhere and you talking about like why would you schedule to baby, I'm not even gonna go through why that didn't none of that sound right. I'm just glad that I was not that stupid to be like, oh yeah, I understand. Yeah, you could come. No, nigga, first of all, nah, hell no, I don't know you. I don't know you. And ain't nobody else supposed to be up in here but me. If I get, I'm just like, man, y'all gotta do better. Anyways, needless to say, that was the last time he heard from me. I was like, damn, man, that's messed up. I'm quick. I'm quick to hit you with a damn, man, that's messed up. Because I don't give a goddamn. No, hell no. What the Get out. Get your shit and get out. Are you freaking me? Who do you think you are? These supposed to be so slick. But the way the girl was explaining the story, I was like, dang. It was like verbatim. She was like, knew the guy. He had moved out. We went on a couple of days. We didn't talk no more. Apparently, he had moved out of town. He was moving back. He gave some lame excuse about why he had to stay for a couple days till he moved to Bibbidi Bobby Skibbity Bobbity Boo. Baby, when I tell you I didn't talk to that boy no more, and then he kept calling my phone, and then like the next day or two after when he was supposed to have been left a voicemail on my phone talking about, well, after sleep. It's so funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not. It's stupid. Okay, the voicemail said something like, I can't make it up. It's sad. Okay, I got it. He said, after a few nights, no, after a night of sleeping under the stars on top of my suitcase, I realized where I may have been wrong to ask you to let me stay with you. And I just want you to know I'm not mad at you. And I would love to come cook dinner for what do you think I give a goddamn about you being mad at me? I don't care what you think of me. You can think I'm the scum of the earth. No, I don't care. No, hell no. Apparently you ain't got your life together. So you don't need to be dating nobody, no way. But damn, it was the guilt trip for me. It was the guilt trip of, after sleeping. First of all, I know you didn't sleep. You did not sleep outside. And if you did, it serves you right. And if you did, then, hey man, I'm sorry. I hope it all worked out for you in the end. But you didn't sleep you didn't sleep outside. No, you didn't. You didn't. You probably called some other dumbass little girl who let you stay there. Or you did actually stay with your parents or somebody. You from Houston. You gonna sit up here and tell me you didn't have nobody say? I mean, yeah, they get creative. That's all I gotta say. And apparently, it don't ever change because these girls are saying the same. I'm thinking, damn. I'm like, are the older uncles of the world, are the older men and the fathers, are they teaching their sons this bullshit? Like, how is it the same thing in 22? Oh, Lord have mercy. Somebody give me the strength. This shit is funny. Ciao. Anyway, so yeah, be careful out there. Be safe. Be safe. Be safe. Don't let anybody come to your house, man. For real. Let's pivot. We got to pivot off of dating because I got to put y'all on game. Speaking of warnings, okay. For those of you who use the Dasher apps, Uber Eats, DoorDash, any of these little food service apps, beware. Because now, look, let me just say this. It's not that they're necessarily doing anything wrong, but just do your due diligence, do your research. If you so happen to be scrolling on DoorDash or Uber Eats or something, and you see, it seems that you have stumbled across a new restaurant that you have not heard of before, it probably is a restaurant that you have heard of, that you've probably eaten at. So what these stores are doing, specifically, I'm going to pick on these restaurants, what they're doing. I'm going to pick on Denny's. Have you heard about what Denny's is doing? Okay, so we're all familiar with her. We know Denny's. What these restaurants are doing, they're creating fake restaurants and just repurposing their food. So, for instance, Denny's has, they have a ton of spinoff restaurants, but one in particular, they had one that was called Banda Burrito. And look, for all intent and purposes, it is a legit restaurant. You can order from it. It's real. And what Denny's is doing, they're creating a full website, a whole different type of persona for this fake restaurant. And you place an order to this restaurant only for you to end up only actually getting Denny's. Now, some people might be saying, Chanel, well, I'm not understanding. So what Denny's is doing is they're still selling their food, but they're wrapping it in Banda Burrito bags and paper. You see what I'm saying? So you might be like, I don't like no damn Denny's. I don't want that. But then you scroll, you see, oh, Banda Burrito, never heard that. Oh, that looks good. You're not ordering Banda Burrito. You're ordering Banda Burrito by way of Denny's. So it's kind of scammy, but the thing is, it's not wrong. But now Banda Burrito kind of really rubbed me the wrong way because it's borderline it's kind of racist, because it's not racist, but it's definitely an appropriation of Latino and Mexicana culture. It's giving, it's giving borderline. Like, it's so whitewashed. The website is so generic. It's so like middle of America, what a white person would say about what they know about Mexican food or about Mexico. I mean, it's very, it's borderline distasteful. So, and there's lots of these, and how people are figuring it out is like, because of course, the Dashers and stuff go pick this stuff up, and they're driving around looking for these restaurants with these different names, and they look at the address, and it'll actually be Denny's, it'll actually be Chili's, it'll actually be, I don't know, I'm just saying Chili's as an example. I don't know if they do it, and even if they did, I wouldn't care. I love Chili's can do no wrong in my eyes. But if you're someone, say you're someone, you've been to a restaurant, you're like, I don't like that restaurant, I don't like their food, or I don't want to eat there, they're dirty, you see what I'm saying? It's borderline false advertisement. So I don't know how long they can keep this up, but look, I would just say, if you see a new restaurant on there, just Google and see if it actually has an actual storefront or if it's something real. And also beware of people selling stuff out of their home. Because I know during COVID, that kind of got popular. People, because you can make a fake restaurant. As long as you got a website and an address and stuff, people were selling plates out of their house. Now, I don't know if they still doing that. I don't know if you still can. But I'm just saying, if you don't see a major chain on DoorDash and you think it's something new, just do your research and look up the address and see, what pops up. Because you might be thinking you ordering from a nice new burger joint. Come to find out, it's just Sonic from down the street that you said you didn't want to eat there no more because they had flies in the food. So I just wanted to put y'all up on game. Apparently they can do it. They ain't got in trouble yet. But Banda Burrito is not Banda Burrito. It is Denny's. So if you are not a fan, don't eat at her. But I think for me personally, I think I'm going to stick with the restaurant names that I know. If I'm going to order from DoorDash, I think, because, I ain't going to get into DoorDash. That's my girl. I ain't going to say nothing to her. I ain't going to say nothing about her right now. But that's the kind of stuff that made me be like, man, I don't know. That's shady. That's peculiar. I don't know how I feel about that. So, and speaking of spinoffs, is the last thing I'm going to say. I'm going to say congratulations to the victorious spinoff. Now, unfortunately, we are not going to give Victoria Justice. I know. It would have been great to have Victoria Justice come back. Maybe she'll do a little cameo or something. But the spinoff is going to focus more on Trina, who played Tori's sister. Okay? So, Daniela Monet, which is her real name, and Yvette Nicole Brown are for sure the two people from the original cast who are coming back. Either way, I'm down for this Victoria spinoff. I love that show. I wish it didn't have to go off the air. Now, several of the people who are on there, like, okay, I mean, they're grown, so obviously, like, if they did come back, it would be like them as like teachers or as parents or staff or something. Obviously, like when the show came out back when I was like in high school or whatever, or college, they were in high school, so obviously they're grown. So the show would be different anyway. Or they could do something like an iCarly where everyone's grown. Look, the guy that played Andre, he's out here dipping and doing winning Grammys and stuff. Love his music. Leon Thomas, check him out if you haven't listened to him. Obviously, Ariana Grande is not coming back because it's freaking Ariana Grande, and not to mention she's Galinda, the Good Witch from Wicked. So she's got a lot going on. And pause. Well, let me wrap this up, and then I do want to circle back to Ariana. Then there's some other people who are on the cast, like Homegirl. Was she on there? No, she wasn't on there, so I didn't even want to bring her up. But there's a few other people who were on the show that had a bad experience with Nickelodeon, which obviously I don't know if they still do acting anymore or if they want to do anything that's affiliated. I don't know if Victorious, the spinoff, was still going to fall under the Nickelodeon umbrella. I don't know. But either way, I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to be funny. I love Daniela Monet. I loved Trina's character on the show. And Yvette Nicole Brown. Love her so much. I think she's a great actress. So just those two alone. And I'd love to see what they're going to do with it. I'm definitely going to watch it. Now, can we circle back to the Ariana Grande? Can we circle back for a second? Can we talk about Miss Grande? Huh? Can we talk about her for a second? Okay. First of all, she's back in her brunette era. So, does it mean that we about to get some hip hop and R&B back out of my girl? Are we about to get some throwback Ari? Can we wake it up? Can we? I mean, now Supernatural, which is the latest album, she's cute. I like her. I like what she's been doing recently with the music. But I mean, if we going back to brunette Ari, like, I mean, I think I'm just saying, the Wicked days are about to wrap up, so we might get some throwback Ari because she had to stay blonde. She had to keep the image and the stuff. She's had to be engulfed in that character. You know what I'm saying? That Glinda the Good Witch. Glinda about to be old news. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, not what I wanted to talk about though. So y'all seen the latest greatest with her and her little boyfriend. Girl, let me see. Now look, we knew that this was gonna happen, but now that it has actually happened, it's kind of gaggy. It's very gaggy. And so, if you haven't heard, word on the street is Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater have broken up. Yeah. Ethan Slater, who was married to like his high school sweetheart, the girl, the woman, she had just had a baby, this and that and the thing. What's it been, about 2 years? Has it been 2 years? So we knew Ariana wasn't gonna stay with that man. We knew that. But man, you just blew up your life, and who's to say that they still would have been together? Who knows? Maybe they didn't want to be together, but at least it would have been on their own terms and everything. But this man left his wife and newborn baby for something that lasted 5 minutes. Damn. Look, I love Ariana Grande, but we got to call a spade a spade. The girl's a homewrecker. And she might be the homewrecker of the homewreckers. And I'm sorry. I mean, look, I'm not one to judge, but that's what it's giving. I mean, I got to call it what it is. The man was married. Had just had a baby. And this ain't the first time that, she done took somebody's man. Had your man. Had your man. I mean, it really is. So, the plot thickens. So, part of why these rumors are going around that Ariana and Ethan have broken up is because she was spotted on what seemed like a date with Aaron Taylor Johnson. Now, if you don't know who Aaron Taylor Johnson is, he's married. Now, I don't know if they're separated. I don't know what the status is, but he's married to the lady that directed 50 Shades of Grey, Sam Taylor Johnson. Now, here's the thing about this. Ariana and Aaron seem like they were out on a date, maybe a couple dates. It's rumored that they might be the new item. But people are kind of like, you know what? Steal that one. They some people are on the side of Ariana stealing this man and breaking up this marriage because one might say that Sam Taylor Johnson, his wife, is kind of a cradle robber. She's kind of a groomer. Okay? Aaron Taylor Johnson, he's 35. Sam Taylor Johnson, his wife, 58. And no, they didn't just get together. They got together when let me see when they got together. I mean, it was 35, 58. Some people are like, okay, big difference, but they're both very, very grown. Well. let's fact check here. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay. He was 18 or 19 when they met. She was 42. So, need I say more? Now, look, it's one thing for a 40-year-old to start dating someone who is 67. That's big difference, but very everyone's very grown, very well aware of their faculties and what it is. 18, 19, and 42? Plus this was 2008. Now, let's talk about 2008. This was still a time where much older men, much older women were dating much younger people, and no one was really saying anything because, for one, a lot of these people, you didn't even realize they were teenagers. A lot of these people, everybody was kind of all 26 years old. You at least perceptually, that's just kind of what it felt. It felt like everyone was all the same. And plus, social media was a thing, but it wasn't like popping like that. But it was starting to be the era of, okay, people are raising some eyebrows. This is kind of weird. This is questionable. Even Taylor Swift, when she was dating, what's his name from One Direction? Who did she date from One Direction? I think it was, hold on, let me see. Anyways, even Taylor Swift dated someone who was the age different. It was a little iffy. Yeah, so hold on. So it might have been a pause on the One Direction thing. But yeah, Taylor Swift briefly dated Connor Kennedy in 2012 when he was 17 and she was 22. I mean, and then she also dated Taylor Lautner, who was 17. She was 19. That's not that big. But it was another one. Look, a 22-year-old woman and a 17-year-old boy, it might as well be 10 years. Now, but that's not that huge. It's definitely not 18 and 42. But the point that I'm trying to get here is a lot of people were dating younger people. It was kind of weird, and more people should have asked some questions, even the girls. And I'm not trying to throw Taylor Swift under the bus or anything. I'm just saying a lot of people were doing things that you just don't do right now. And some of these states, the legal age of consent is 16, 17 years old. So just because it's legal doesn't make it right. I don't know, but look, we can sit up here and debate all day long about 17 and 22 and stuff, but one thing we know for sure, 18 and 42 is very questionable, and probably not a lot of people said nothing because it wasn't a man. People are more quick to ask questions when it's an older man, but look out for these women too. And so that's why people are leaning towards more saying, girl, steal him because he needs to be saved. So I don't know if that's the answer, but look at Celine Dion. Okay, we're not going down that road. We're not doing that. We're not doing this. But can we talk about Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats? Have y'all heard that? I'm gonna drop this little bit of tea and ask y'all about it, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. Now I ain't got no update since I saw it, but maybe y'all can tell me something. Alicia Keys. Word on the street is that Swiss Beats guess who they saying he stepped out with? Lala. Y'all know Lala. Y'all know Lala. Look out. The old girl used to be married to, what's his face? Hold on, my computer went to sleep again. Hold on, for real, y'all. I need to fix it. I'm gonna fix it. But yeah, y'all know Lala that was married to Carmelo Anthony. Yeah, word on the street is Lala is the new Alicia. Okay, now look how they look. Look, now people sit over saying, how you gonna cheat on Alicia? Y'all must be young. Now, not everybody, but some people are like, how you gonna cheat on her? Woo, woo, woo. Y'all must be young, baby. Y'all must be children. Y'all must live under the rock. Because y'all don't remember Alicia? Oh, okay. Yeah, because what they told me was how you get them is how you lose them. And that's it. That's what's looking like was going to happen. Now, I saw Lala in a live. I saw a little clip and she was denied. It seemed like she was denying it, but I hope it's not true because I liked Lala and I'm like, damn girl, you of all people, ugh, girl, thought you was better than that. But before I pass judgment on her, let me do a little more digging and see if it's actually true. But if it is true, don't nobody deserve it but Alicia. I'm sorry. I can't sit up here and really say that I really forgive you because it's one thing to do it, but how you did it and you denied it and the way that you were, you publicly humiliated this woman. I don't care what their status was. They were married. I don't care if they were separated, if they were together, if they was going through it. I don't give a goddamn. Whatever the case was, if they were happily married, I don't know. I was a little too young. I was a little too young to really remember like that. But you embarrassed that woman. You stole that man in front of all of America, in front of all of the world, and then had insult to injury, released a goddamn song about it. If you ask me, I'm ready. Girl, what? Ready for what? To be a Jezebel? To be a homewrecker? Oh my God. And and that really jacked up her career. You jacked up your career. You humiliated this woman. And you really, honestly, I would say within the last 5 years, not even the last 10, within the last 5 years, you finally people kind of forgot about that and it's out of their mind and they were forgiving you and they see how long y'all been together and they were kind of like, you know what? Life goes on. Now look at this. And if you think people, yeah, you might not have nothing to do with now, you're the one getting cheated on, but everybody's going to bring that shit up. And what about the children? God, embarrassing. I don't know. Y'all stay tuned. But yeah, that was my little piece of tea for the day. Look, I hope it's all rumors and that. But even if it is rumors, I mean, damn, it's one thing to do it, but when you're a celebrity or when you are out in the limelight and stuff, and this is like, damn, people, I ain't heard nobody say limelight in a minute. But when you out in the things, like, y'all don't be thinking about stuff following y'all forever, which I guess, I guess it goes back to, once again, people, this stuff has always been going on, but this stuff was a lot more easily forgettable because there wasn't so much just constant reporting and review. The internet wasn't so active back then. And, a few magazine rounds, a lot of people didn't read it, and a lot of people forget about it. The people that did get to see it, I heard about it. And if you really weren't watching MTV or BET or reading a People magazine, you were just like, hey, I like her music, it's whatever. But that was kind of the beginning of the time. I mean, you had Twitter, and you had some Facebook, you had a little bit of social media, but now people who are still out here doing dumb stuff, like Ariana out here being a homer, you don't care about that shit following you around for the rest of your career. I don't know. They don't make them like Dolly Parton anymore. You ain't never heard nothing about Dolly, no scandal, no nothing. Now, Dolly had a little scandal. What was it, about a few weeks ago? Her sister got online and talked about, I just want y'all to pray for my sister. Pray her surgery go well. Look, her sister got online and scared everybody in the corner crying because we think, oh Lord, we about to lose Dolly. The last thing we need in 2025 is for them to take Dolly away. Now, it was crazy. What was crazy was I had just seen Dolly say, yeah, I'm going to go have she said she was having a surgery, but when she said it seemed like it was just going to be something quick, just a little 1-2-1-2. And I was like, okay, I'll check in on Dolly, make sure she all right. Then cut to a day or two later, oh, I want y'all to pray for my sister. Now, the sister I don't think really meant nothing bad. I think she was just, what older people do. They just be saying stuff on Facebook. They just be saying stuff. But the way it came off, it made it seem like the circumstances were a lot more dire than they actually were. And I'm thinking, damn, girl, shut up. But, it's always that one family member that won't get online and do the most, But anyways, positive note about Dolly. She has her museum and hotel opening up in Nashville, Tennessee. And she's still out here dipping and doing. She's still giving us new music. She's got some ice cream and some other foods and desserts and other like regular food too, in the grocery stores and stuff. Look into her. Figure out how you can get the Dolly experience, because it's all over. But I would really like to go to that hotel museum in Nashville. So if anybody's down, let me know if you plan on going. I think it opens up 2026. So, what? You guys, Halloween is here. So you know what that means. Did y'all hear Mariah Carey thawing out? I ain't gonna play it. I'm gonna respect Halloween while I'm saying this. Out loud. No, I ain't gonna do it. I'm saying I can feel her spirit thawing out. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, y'all be careful out there. Be safe. I hope you had a happy Halloween. If you're listening to this after Halloween, we do this every week. Be sure to check me out on YouTube, TikTok, wherever you get. Most platforms, I got it. I don't really be on the X like that, but hey, if you shout me out or something, I might, woo. Anyways, this has been great. Thank you so much. You guys take care. Be safe. Be healthy. Be happy. Get your kids the junk food. Let them eat the candy. Have fun. Be safe. Dress warm. Have a scary, spooky Halloween. Or have a quiet, cute, quaint little doozy. Whatever works for you. Whatever floats your boat. Okay? All right. Bing!